What's going on, internet? So this is like my third time doing this. It was supposed to be an unboxing, but I've just unboxed it and I didn't like, the video, and then I didn't like the second one. So this is technically an unboxing, but it's already been opened. So you don't get to see me cut the tape and go, ooh, and pull out the bubble wrap and all that. And, but yes, I did just open this friggin' thing like not long ago, like 15 minutes ago. And it's pretty cool. So anyway, comes with the bubble wrap, with the bubble wrap flap over. If you ever buy a Cold Steel and you're not sure if it's real or if it's counterfeit, the first thing I look for is the fold over bubble wrap. If it's Chinese, it won't have the fold over. It'll just be like cut off right here and it'll just be like a bag. And it'll be real shitty, cheap bubble wrap if it's Chinese, like the cheapest. Whereas this is kind of the higher end stuff. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it actually is. There's a big difference between the bubble wraps, usually. So anyway, it comes, packed standard. I always figured by the pictures, in the picture it looks so short. It looks like a 2.5-inch bladed knife in the pictures, which means I knew it was going to be like tall. And it is. It is a tall knife. I had this thing in my cart a million times since it came out. I've just struggled with the idea of getting it forever. I have a Mayhem with an Atlas lock, which I really like. It's a lot of fun. Huge knife, especially fidgeting with a huge knife. Like, it's almost ridiculous, but it's kind of dangerous to fidget with it. But I do like the lock, and I figured, I really want an Atlas lock that's like a good knife and not some like Krupp steel, budget knife. And then this went on sale for like $105 instead of $145, which it's usually pretty much always around $145, $150. I said, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And I dropped the money on it, and now, years later, here I am with an Engage, and I'm pretty excited. So it came today. This is made in Taiwan. This is the new Cold Steel, as you can tell by the logo, S35VN. Cold Steel's incredibly good S35VN steel. So that's a good thing. It is chunky. It's not super fat, but it's heavy. 6.6 ounces, they're saying. I didn't weigh it. I'm assuming it's close. Cold Steel likes to fudge their numbers a little bit, but even if it's over 6, it's probably close to around 6.5 or more. It feels pretty heavy, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather, honestly, I guess if I'm gonna have a blade steel, this blade steel with a blade this thick and an axis lock, I'd like it a little chunky and solid. It's fine by me. So we'll go into the specs here. Well, this way. Blade length 3.5, overall length 8 3/16, S35VN, 6.6 ounces. Blade thickness is 3.8 millimeters. And the handle is 4 11/16, and it is G10. It is reminiscent, at least in the areas without the texturing, it is reminiscent of that like 8010 kind of G10. Sort of smooth, but not polished, if you know what I mean. Looks like they added some lines. I don't know if that's just for looks. I like that it's right here at the base, right where the clip starts, because that's going to help with retention, because this style clip, well, it's a Cold Steel. It's probably really tight. It is. But you can see there's some bumps in there, some screw head showing. And that's okay with this kind of clip, in my opinion. This is a really high clip. They call it a J clip, I think. And with the J clip like this, it's not the worst thing, because it's going to help. It's going to be one more sticking point to hold it in your pocket. This thing's heavy and it's short. So if you jump back on a couch and lean back, put your feet up, this thing could slip right out of your pocket easy and you'd lose your knife. Not so much with heavier, longer knives, but with these short knives that are heavy, yeah. And to me, this is a small knife. It's 3.5 inches. Anything under 4 inches, well, you know what? I take it back. 3.5 is the minimum of medium size for me. And I've slowly, these smaller knives are starting to grow on me. How many 3.5-inch knives can you have when 99% everything made is 3.5 inches? I want to buy them, but I just wish they were 4 inches or bigger. That's what she said. But seriously, I do. But I do understand. It is big enough for EDC. This is not, it's kind of marketed as like a tactical blade. It's just not big enough for that. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, you could F somebody up with this pretty good. You got a nice finger guard here with a deep finger groove. Keep you from slipping up on the blade. The grip is good. These lines that they cut into the G10 actually work. However you hold it. Nobody holds a knife like this, by the way. When I see videos that the ergos are great. Is that how you hold your knife? Or just like crank your wrist like you're jerking off? No, nobody holds a knife like that. You hold it like this. You hold it like this. And like this. In these grips, it's pretty comfy. As usual, Cold Steel really coming through with the ergos. I do like the clip, by the way. I like these thick, heavy-ass, stiff-ass clips. I think they're great. Looks like we got good old-fashioned Cold Steel T6s. And there, I'm assuming that's going to be a T8 or a T10. Let's get T10, actually. I don't know how to measure it. Volcano studs, my favorite kind. Hands down, my favorite kind. Because they're the best. I would say in my opinion, but it's not my opinion. It's just the way it is. It's true. If you don't agree, then you're wrong. You got some liners here. They have the same sandblasted finish, bead blasted finish that you have on the Atlas lock. They feel really stiff. I'm assuming they're steel. This backspacer is metal. It's definitely some kind of metal, probably aluminum. They usually make them in aluminum, Cold Steel. And yes, yeah, it has the Atlas lock. So you can fidget all day with this thing, which is kind of fun. You can open it easy. You can do the old finger in the finger groove, release and drop on your finger, and you see it's pretty close. But if you look what they did. Your sharpening choil. You know, see, people complain about this. I'm just going to point this out. And they're like, well, it's because when they grind the blade, they couldn't get past the thumb studs. I seriously doubt they put the thumb studs on before they grind the blades. That just doesn't make sense. They do this for a reason. And that reason is because this is the part of the blade that's going to hit your stop pin. See, look. Boop. There it is. Hitting the stop pin. And because of that, they don't want you sharpening that part out over time. Let's say you sharpen this thing 5, 6, 7, 8 times over a couple years, and now you've lost that, and it's your blade is hitting, the edge of your blade is hitting things on the inside of the knife. They do this on purpose so you don't sharpen it to there, so that you sharpen it to here. That way, it's actually really smart. So when you hear people complaining about, they don't know why, they just haven't figured it out. I figured it out. They don't sharpen knives probably, or they sharpen knives a lot and they just are so good at it that they don't realize that other people will screw that up. But I think it's genius. Plus, and now you don't have to take, if you want to put it in, you know, like a system, like my WorkSharp Pro, where I like clamp the blade in and, you know, use the thingamajigs to sharpen it. I don't have to take the thumb studs off. I just clamp it here and it's fine. It'll go right up to it. So that's a good thing. So when you hear people bitch about that, they're wrong. I'm sorry, but they are. They're wrong. Cold steel, that's something, somebody was thinking ahead. And they do this on a lot of their knives, I notice. That's somebody thinking ahead. Anyway, this is the satin finish, obviously. Oh, man. It's taking fingerprints pretty well, just like a cold steel satin finish. Get your brush finish up top, satin finish on the blade. I like it. I've always liked the satin finish. I think it's beautiful. The edge, this thing's incredibly sharp. Oh, God. Yeah. And it's S35 inch. It's probably going to hold an edge forever. Not forever, but for a long time. This area here, this is a sharp ledge. This is a 90 degree. I mean, like, here and here, it's 90 degrees sharp. You might actually be able to cut yourself if you push down on that. So if you did take this camping out, you could definitely throw sparks with that edge. Not that this is the best camping knife, but it would work. Overall, look at this. Lanyard hole is ginormous, the way they should all be, if you can. If a company can make a lanyard hole big enough to, like, put a friggin' giant rope through it like that, do it. Why not? Maybe I want to double up my paracord, make it super duper ooper powerful. My lanyard. No, I wouldn't put a lanyard on this. I don't think it needs it. But yeah, make it a big hole. So, pretty cool knife. I don't regret buying it now that I'm playing with it and I have it open. I'll be fidgeting with this all night while I'm watching TV before I fall asleep. You know, feeling it. The retention with these Atlas locks, like I said, it's good and bad. It's good because I love the old wrist flick open. It's like my favorite way to open a knife, actually. And also, the thumb stud opening on this is just effortless, pretty much. I mean, a lot of cold steels, you gotta give it wrist. You don't really have to do that with this. You just, I mean, that was like a really like super sissy ass attempt, and it's still opened all the way up and locked up. So, and it is, like I said, volcano cone / volcano thumb studs. So it's super comfortable to open that way. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Again, these lines, they seem to work. My hands are double XL plus. I'm sorry, XL plus. So double XL gloves are a tiny bit too big for me, and XL gloves are a tiny bit too small for me. So I'm an XL 0.5 in gloves, and yeah, I'm getting grip with this middle finger, which is really your strong finger of your hand. If you know anything about like hands, they really should have put jimping here. I'm sorry. I know you put this nice little thumb thingy here, but yeah, you effed up not putting jimping there. I mean, for the price of this knife, I might actually get the Dremel out and put my own jimping in it. I don't know. At least do your half-ass like jimping that they do on the G10 and the you know, the liners. They like to do that. It's like how they get away with not jimping the blade. I would have taken that. That'd work too. Good looking knife. Stumpy and fat and cute. I like it. A little small for me, but it'll work for EDC purposes. I will, like I said, I'll switch the clip around. Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this knife. So I'm going to use this for the next couple weeks, and I will get back to you guys and let you know what I think after I beat the shit out of it for a while and use it. And I'm sure it's a cold steel. I'm sure it's going to do everything amazing because cold steel is awesome, and cold steel makes the best user knives, in my opinion, for everything from, you know, picking your fingernails to heavy duty work. This is definitely a heavy use knife. This is a work knife for sure. Let's look at the tip real quick. Pretty robust. Very robust tip. Yeah, I mean, this is a tough knife. Thick tip, strong lock. I mean, this lock holds what, like 1,000 pounds? We literally put like, I think it was 800 something pounds on the Engage, and it held it. So theoretically, it's even stronger than the Axis or the Triad lock, but you know it's not. And then, you know, the guy Gideon's Tactical was beating the ass end of his down, and he was able to get this to drop enough for the blade to come loose. So there is that, but I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. How far do you got to bring it back to make the blade drop? That's halfway. A little more than halfway. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm not going to be hammering. If I am hammering with this, I'll have my hand on that lock, holding it in place anyway. He was trying to disengage it. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can disengage any lock, you know, half-ass if you try. I mean, you know, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, right? So, yeah, Engage S35VN, 3.5-inch blade, G10 handles. This is not the cheap version. This is the good one. I like it so far. Cool looking knife. Burly feeling knife for its size. Like, subscribe. Keep your eyes peeled for the review on this knife coming pretty soon. And other reviews coming. Just dropped the Max 5. Cold Steel Max 5 review. Kind of a long one, 28 minutes, but it really goes over it. So if you've been looking at Max 5s and you want to know if it's worth it or not, go check that out too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.